folks, do you love your freedom? Woo, and I love those American flags. Listen, if you love your freedom, then what we do is we think of vet, and we're going to do that now. Anyone who has served in the past or presently serving in the great United States military, stand up. We're going to salute you. We honor you. We do salute you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, from all of us. Thank you for protecting our freedoms. So good to be here in Denver, in a hockey arena, no less. I just feel right at home. Where the Pioneers play. That's significant, too. Some great Alaskan kids have played in this arena. And, hey, really good to be here with all of you Bronco fans. I'm sure there's a bunch. Todd and I were both saying, well, we'll become even more ardent Bronco fans now that you got Tebow on board. We love him. And we followed the team for many years since you had Mark Schlereth many years ago. He was an Alaskan kid, a good Christian guy who stands up strong for his principles. So go Broncos, rah-rah. Good to be back, though, really feeling at home. Alaskans and Coloradans, we all have a whole lot in common. Believe it or not. For one, I got to go running last night in your beautiful city here in Denver and just thinking, wow, God has so blessed you with this creation. The great outdoors here is, please don't take it for granted. It's spectacular. Loved it so much last night that this morning got up again, ran all the way up 17th and then to the beautiful parks around there. And it was just breathtaking. And it was either breathtaking or it took my breath away because I'm old and slow and this elevation kicked my butt. But absolutely spectacular. And again, please don't just take it for granted. Enjoy all that you have here. What a blessed state you are in. No, we do have a lot in common, our two states. For example, when the weather report says it may hit 60, woohoo, we bust out the shorts and the tank top, and we don't think it's unusual to have a blizzard in the month of May. It doesn't make national news. As kids, we too all grew up planning our Halloween costumes around our snowsuits, what would fit over. And then too, when people from back east tell folks in Colorado that they have mountains in their state too, I know you guys just kind of laugh. And well, that's what Alaskans do when the Colorado folks tell us about the mountains that they have. It's gorgeous here, though. So good to be here in this crowd. Patriotic, hardworking, average, everyday Americans who are ready to take our country back. Woo! I am honored to be here. Honored to be here with you guys. And wonderful to be among fellow talk radio fans. And I consider myself to have been a ditto head before ditto heads were even cool. I love talk radio, especially the syndicates, guys like Hewitt and Dennis Prager. What you're doing for this country is so good. You're educating Americans and you're just getting back to the basics and teaching us about the Constitution and our founding fathers, what they meant. Thank you. These guys are great. Impossible acts to follow, too, I warn you. But here, KNUS and the wonderful station and the wonderful programs that they broadcast, 710, is very good for not just this part of the country, but those syndicated shows that we get to listen to even in Alaska. It helps us all, and some great Christian programs. And here we have in our midst Dr. Dobson, one of my heroes. He is here, and with his program, we've learned so much from you over these years. Honored to be in the same room as you, Dr. Dobson, and Shirley. Thank you. Well, Hugh and Dennis can certainly testify to the fact that conservative talk radio listeners, you're some of the best informed Americans, and that is good because tonight I kind of want to hit it hard and not beat around the bush on some of the issues that I think need to be discussed, and so many of you are really tuned into the issues that we'll bring up tonight. Hitting it hard tonight, though, just kind of craving some meat in the content of it. Maybe it's because I haven't had my daily steak yet. I haven't had that Colorado buffalo burger yet, but and that's why I'm craving this meat. I'm looking forward to one too, and it's going to be kind of cool that I'll get one of those burgers and not have to shoot the animal first before I get to actually consume it. That's unusual for me. It is. what's going on right now is kind of a crossover. It's a nice crossover between what's going on with the People's Movement, our Tea Party Americans who are standing up for what is right in this country, and what's going on with talk radio. Do we have any Tea Party Americans in the audience today? Good. Good. You betcha, it's been so inspiring, so encouraging, and even a little entertaining to see so many good patriots willing to stand up in town halls recently and give their representatives a piece of your mind and tell them what you believe democracy is all about. And that is what democracy is all about, is our freedom to get up and say what we feel and help direct our elected officials in casting votes that reflect the will of the people. In fact, just last week, I had an interview with Greta Van Susteren. Friends, what would America do without Fox News? We need Fox News. I had an interview with Greta, and she asked me, if you had the chance to sit down and speak to the president one-on-one, what would you say to him? My first thought was, well, how much time do we have? Because it may take a while. But then I thought, okay, well, if it's just a short visit, I just repeat the bumper sticker that this really cool jarhead has displayed on his Jeep, a proud U.S. Marine who displays this sweet motto on his Jeep. It says, "It's we the people, not me the president." So, in trying to answer Greta, though, you know, seriously, what would we average, everyday, hardworking Americans want to say to our president? And if we had that chance to sit down face to face with him, what would we want to share with him? What's on our mind? Let's see, we have a lot to cover. First off, Greta, I would like to ask him, why does he keep picking on Arizona? What's going on in Arizona really, I think, needs to go on in a couple of the other border states. Folks, we're living in a time when the federal government seems to be overreaching into everything, whether it's constitutional or not. So I find it kind of ironic that they refuse to do the one crucial duty that is assigned them, and that is secure our nation. We've had now the spectacle of not one, not two, but three high-ranking officials in the administration now admitting that they were criticizing and condemning a law, a border security bill that they hadn't even read. And that's kind of scary. And suppose, though, maybe we shouldn't be surprised. After all, it seems that this is kind of the way that things are being run right now in D.C. And if the liberal left can pass bills that they say we got to pass them in order to find out what's really in them, as Nancy Pelosi said, well, then perhaps they can go ahead and criticize a bill that they hadn't even read. And if they'd read it, they would have seen that this Arizona Secure the Border bill, what it does, it replicates, it mirrors what their own federal law already says. But we have our president instead complaining that the Arizona bill has the potential for abuses and seems to side with Mexico's draconian immigration laws that, I don't know, that's apology tour, it's continuing. And with the border security issues, one of the latest recipients in this apology tour, kind of our, oh man, we're sorry for America, that mantra, has been the dictatorship of China. They've received the apology recently. See, here along those lines is what I'd like to tell the president. Mr. President, every law has the potential for abuses, but that doesn't mean that we don't enforce them. I'm sure, for instance, your Treasury Secretary wouldn't be too happy if we stopped enforcing tax laws because of the potential for abuse. Oh, but wait a minute. Yeah, dang, come to think of it, Geithner and paying taxes? Never mind, not a good example.